Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. I'm Rita, and today I wanted to share with you as many as I can make. And so I know that seems a little strange, but I'll definitely go ahead and define it in a minute. Now before we get going, I did want to just share with you that if you're watching via YouTube, then please consider subscribing, and if you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified of any new content that I upload. And also, I wanted to ask you that if you're watching here on Facebook, know that you can comment, you can also shout out and let us know where you're watching from. And also, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. And of course, as always, your likes and hearts and shares are greatly appreciated. Now let's get going. I want to show you some of the cards that I made, and I want to define that make as many as you can. So, as you know, you've probably heard me say before that I take cards on a monthly basis to a local retirement home, and I share those cards with the residents there, and then they can choose to mail them out to friends or family, or even they give them to each other. So that's what they're there for. So they get the card, they get the envelope, and then the retirement center does provide postage if they want it. So when I take those cards, I take quite a few, and so this is a great way for me to use up designer series paper and even scraps. So that's what I did. I'm kind of making room for a lot of the new fall and winter and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween inventory, and so I'd like to just kind of use up a lot of what I have. And so the idea of this is to use your designer series paper. Now you may have completely different designer series paper, which you more than likely do, but it's the measurements and the process that you would case, and you can create your own card. So I created some that were Thanksgiving themed, some that were winter and holiday themed. I used some of the Country Inn designer series paper, and then of course some of the I believe this was called Dandy Designs, I think. It was out of the last celebration catalog, and I just had a few of these 6x6 sheets left, so I wanted to use them up. And then this is the designer series paper that is currently in the annual catalog. I believe it's called, I'll have to look it up. I should have looked it up. It's Bold and Beautiful, I believe. But that's in there in the annual catalog. So this is still available to you. So if you like this design, or it lends a new project or card that you want to make, then definitely check it out. Now you can... I do encourage you to check out the designer series paper that we have, both in the annual catalog and in the mini catalog, because I want to show you one that I just love that would be great for these cards, and that's this designer series paper right here. I'm going to tell you what it's called. It's called Merry Bold and Bright. And it just has a lot of very, very nice designs. And I'm going to tell you again, it comes in a 12 by 12. So if you used one sheet, so actually you would use, for this design, you need at least one sheet that the design on the back and the front coordinate or go together, and you'll know that our Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper is double-sided, and they do all coordinate, so that's the beauty of that. So with one sheet of your 12 by 12, you could get, I would say, at least 15 or 16 cards from that. And I didn't do the math, but you're going to be cutting your strips in 1 by 4 inches. So, you know, if you do that, if you cut 3 times, so if you cut your 12 by 12 in 4 by 12 strips, and then you cut those down, you're going to get quite a few strips. So if you're wanting to do a lot of Christmas cards and you want to do this design, these work well. If you want to just do a few of them, they work well. But know that there is some very, very nice designer series paper in both the annual and the mini catalog. And then I wanted to show you, before we create the card, I wanted to show you another card that I used, or that I made. And this is using scraps of designer series paper too. And so if you're interested in this card, I'll be posting it on my blog, and also I'll post it on, that will be available to you. And changing it up is kind of the beauty of us sharing our cards with you, because even though I use this designer series paper, and I can't tell you how old it is because I know it's a couple of Thanksgivings or autumns or falls behind us, and so you can't get this anymore, but you could change it up to anything. And I think if you had a plaid and maybe a Christmas designer series paper that coordinated, this would be awesome. It would be beautiful. But yes, if you want the instructions, you can go to my blog. I would guess I am so behind. I have to tell you, the All Things Christmas, I am still catching up. So, you know, give it a couple of days, and then you can go in and get those measurements, and you can make your own card. And it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be birthday. It can be anything. And then I also made this card. I like this card. Doesn't use a lot. It's kind of minimal, but sometimes less is more. And I think that there are some cards that actually give an elegant feel when there's not a lot to them. And so this is definitely using some of that very old designer series paper, and some ribbon, and then some very vanilla cardstock, and then of course some stamps. So you know, that's just how this was made. Now if you want to know the measurements and how I made this is something I'm only sharing on my newsletter. So if you go to ritaspapermotif.com, whoops, sorry, got it upside down. If you go to ritaspapermotif.com, go to the home page, scroll all the way down to the bottom, then you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter. It's usually weekly. Sometimes if there isn't a lot to share and I'm busy creating or whatever, it may be every other week, but you'll definitely know because it'll be in your inbox. But you can subscribe to my newsletter, and you'll find the directions for this card there. Now let's go ahead. We're going to make one of these cards with the strips today because they're so easy. And then you can make your own, you know, as you want. So what I want to make today is a birthday card, and I'm taking some, this is going to flop all, oh, it didn't, shoo. I'm taking some basic white, and this is an A2 size card. What I've done is the 11-inch side was at the top, and the 8.5-inch sides were on the side. And so I just cut it in half at 5.5, rotated and scored at 4 1/4, and that will give me my A2 size card. And then I'm going to take my bone folder. Now I didn't always use my bone folder, but I'm finding that cardstock that is of good sturdiness or good thickness does require often a good burnishing of those score marks. So you know, yeah, use your bone folder if you don't have one. I certainly have them in my online store. And let me know in the comment section below. And then I'm going to also share with you that we're going to be using this designer series paper. It is called Bright and Beautiful, and it is in the annual catalog. It's with the in colors, and that's what it is. It's an in color, bright designer series paper. It comes in 6x6 measurements, and so we're going to put these strips, and these strips measure 4 inches by 1 inch, and so you need 5 for each card. And that is, I'm going to be making my card a landscape. You could definitely turn it and make it portrait. It's your card, and you get to do or design it however you want. So again, 4 by 1, and we're just going to lay them on our card like this. Well, let me get my glue out here. I have to tell you, I have been so busy in my studio. It's just been really active here. And the weather is getting bad where I live. It's definitely fall. We went from the heat of the summer to, it was 32 degrees this morning, so 34 degrees. And so what I'm going to do, I wanted to show you, is I turned my card. So even though I want it to be a landscape, I'm going to turn it in this direction so that I can get my strips right where I want them. And then I'm just going to alternate them. So you can see that this color is the color on the back of this color. And so you know, they coordinate, they work very well together. So that not only is a savings on paper, but, you know, how much easier can it get, right? Okay, so let's see here. And then I'm just kind of, we'll line them up. Now, this does happen occasionally. If your cut is just a little off, it's a good idea to, you know, I should have measured this before I put it on, but it's a good idea to go, and this are my sticky scissors, to go ahead and cut them before you put them on, because even though this glue does give you time to manipulate, once it dries, it's kind of harder to change up there. So looks like I still need some more off of there. I don't know how that got that much longer. And I did want to say, you know, sometimes we get really caught up in making everything perfect. We all know that these are handmade cards, and I certainly don't look at a card that I get and analyze it. I'm just so excited that the person that sent that card to me did send that card to me, and I'm excited about that. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't fret, don't spend a lot of time. I mean, certainly you don't want to just do it haphazard, but don't spend a lot of time worrying about if your card is, if everything is exactly perfect. Because you'll drive yourself nuts. And I'm changing my glue bottle because that glue bottle was getting empty. And here we go, because this is always a... Uh-oh, I got the wrong one. Okay. I have to hurry now because I don't want that glue that's there to be drying on me. And I am having a glue issue, I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay, and then we're just going to finish up here. I don't know how some of these got so long. Wow. And I almost messed up here. That's what happens when I get out of sequence, I think. Okay, so this is going to be a birthday card. This is what I have in mind, and so I want it to be festive. And I did put it on white, and I'll tell you, I did try to change up some of those colors so that I didn't use so much white, but use some of the other colors that were, like I tried to put these on a blue, but I'll tell you what happens is that sometimes they can get drowned out. So here's what I found, is I found that white was the safest for me. All right, and then you're going to take, or what I did is I cut out, die cut some balloons. I had a die cut that had balloon shapes. And I'm also going to use my 2-inch punch to punch a circle. So I know that on that one card, or actually the sample that I've been showing you, those have been strips. Well, actually, this is a half of a circle, or a circle that I cut in half. But they have been mostly, they've mostly been, gosh, I'm forgetting what I'm saying here. They mostly have been strips. And they don't have to be. But I'm going to take and punch, and I love to save my punches. So this is a 2-inch punch. And I'm just going to go ahead and punch a circle. Now you could, you know, punch a smaller punch out of the Lolly Lime, or you could, I mean, it is, but let's go ahead and finish off the card now. Now we're going to want to stamp on here, and so I'm going to tell you that I love this stamp set. It's called The Biggest Wish. And I just use it almost all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the stamp that says happy. And I'm going to use that on my circle. And on the inside, I'm going to stamp a birthday. So here we go. So I'm also going to use Night of Navy ink. And you really could use any ink you want to, but I'm thinking if I use this Lolly Lime, that, or even any of the other lighter colors that are in there, they might not show up as well. So let's go ahead and use the Night of Navy. And it's happy on the outside and birthday on the inside, so I'm going to need to bring this a little bit closer. So let's see here. Here we go with that. And then while we have this out, let's go ahead and just do birthday, and then we can be finished with our stamping. And I'm cleaning off my stamp because I really don't like to put them back with ink on them. It's just that I tend to forget maybe, and then it's always a kind of a issue to have to stop and clean it before you stamp again. All right, and I do want to encourage you to go to Rita's Paper Motif. There are a lot of, on the homepage are a lot of the specials that are going on now. We actually have a very trying to get this straight here. We actually have a very cute kit. It's called Rustic. I just forgot the name. It's a Christmas advent calendar, and it's kind of a rustic calendar, so it's not like the kind that you have to open the boxes or open anything as we usually think of when we think of advent calendars. But it's a kit, so everything in that you would need to make that advent calendar is in the kit. So it's just, it's really nice, it's easy, and I have come to appreciate kits more and more. So you might want to check that out. And then let me know what you think about it. I did do, for Christmas, I did do an advent calendar, and I'll be sharing that also on my website. Now I am, which is unusual for me, is I'm going to only put my, oops, I put it on the wrong side. I'm only putting my dimensionals on kind of on one side for now, because I'm going to want to put those balloons. So we're going to go ahead and take the release paper off of here. Let's see here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put the happy on here. And then we're going to do the balloons. Now I have an old birthday balloon die cut that I used. Because remember, I'm using kind of minimal things. So it's okay. I just felt like it was good, good to use some of that stuff again. But you can use any birthday related die cut. You don't even have to use balloons. You could use just even ribbon. You could use, it's your card. You could use whatever you want. And the idea of this is to use up what you have, because that's how we get that title, make as many as you can. Now I am going to use some glue dots to put these balloons together, because I want them to be together. And so I'm also going to use my Take a Pick tool. And I'm just going to put that glue dot here, and then I will stick another balloon on the top there, so that they're sticking together. And then we have that, and then we're just going to stick it on our card. Now, here's something that I wanted to share, is that you can put I'm going to put them right like this. So I am going to put a glue dot on the back here, but depending on how you wanted to put them, you could use just dimensionals too. I am going to put dimensionals on the top, let's see here. How was I going to do that? Right here is where I'm going to put that glue dot. You can, I am going to put dimensionals right here. Because I want some elevation. So I'm just going to put one on each balloon. And so you could stop here. I am going to say that sometimes for the cards that I take to the retirement center, sometimes I don't put a lot of bling on them. Just because I don't know how they store them. Well, they store them in a drawer, but you know, once things get kind of picked through and stuff, then you know, they can kind of get a little broken up. So sometimes I don't put a lot of bling on them. I am going to put some bling on this because I think it needs it. So I'm going to reach over and see what I have that I can use here. And again, I'm looking for something that maybe I have just a little bit of and I want to use up, or I'm looking for something that, mostly it's something that I want to use up. And so I'm looking for something blue. And I know I have a lot of things that are blue, so I'm just trying to find something that I would like to just use up, basically. And here's something, I don't even know where these came from. Actually, these are, I don't know where they came from. But I'm going to go ahead and use them because these don't look like anything we have in our store or have had. So I don't really know where they came from, but let's use them up. And so I'm just going to put them 3 in a row right here. And I like to put odd numbers of my bling when I'm putting it on. And then I'm going to use like some medium. So I have already 3. So I'm going to use 1 more. And I actually could even change and put some lolly lime if you wanted to. It's just that I kind of wanted a little let's see. I'm going to put 4 here. I don't usually, but I'm going to. Okay, so now we have 5 on there. They say that if you put the odd number of embellishments, like the bling, that it's more appealing to the eye. So we'll just say that maybe sounds good. All right, so here is our card. If you had this all cut out, and now if I was, it wouldn't be getting my head in the camera view, it wouldn't have taken even as long. So a very simple card, and I'll bring some more out because you can see that you can make thank you cards, you could make anything, and they really do make some really cute autumn, or even you can even do your Thanksgiving cards this way. And the nice thing about it is you can use patterns that you might not use in other layouts, but you can use it here because it's a very forgiving design. All right, so these the measurements and how the cards were made will be posted on the website. Give me a couple of days though, because as I said, I'm catching up. But they'll be there, and then any, of the items that you want that are available, like all of these are still available except for the bling, then, you can definitely get at my online store. But the whole goal is to use what you have and make as many as you can. So I can think that normally what that would be is Christmas cards, or in my case, it's the cards I'm taking to my friends at the residence center. So I hope that this was something that you can take and use. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I'll see you again next week. Bye now.